Hey guys, this is John Watts. I want to follow up on a recent video I did about talking to debt collectors and sort of having the idea that they're knocking on your door. Well, this is another way to think about this, and that is to have the mindset when a debt collector calls you that instead of being kind of scared, which is what they want, what do they expect? I mean, your phone rings, you answer, and they say, "Hey, is this John Watts?" I say, "Yeah." And, they'd say, "Do you live at this address?" "Yes." "Well, this is XYZ debt collector, and we're collecting on this bill." Well, what they expect you to do is kind of be like, "Oh, man, this is bad," and then you start getting nervous and your heart's beating fast, and they're just peppering you with questions like, "Now, you owe this, and how are you going to pay? And I need you to promise to pay right now." Well, what's a way to sort of flip that around? It's to have the mindset that, and you don't literally say this, but in your mind, when that debt collector calls, it's like you go, "Great, I'm so glad you called. I got a million questions for you. Let's get started right now." Okay? And then you start asking them questions. And we talk about this in other videos. You do who, what, when, why, where, how. And so you use this as an opportunity, gain information from that debt collector. So see, a debt collector only wants two things from you. They want, number one, a promise to pay. So you say, "I'll make a $300 payment next Friday." Or better than that, an actual payment. Okay? So you reach in, pull out your wallet, your debit card, whatever, and you pay them. And so that's what they're looking for. They don't care about anything else. They're not interested in what's going on in your life. They're really not interested if they have the wrong person. What they care about is a promise to pay or a payment. And think about this. The reason they like promise to pay, if you promise to pay, then you don't pay, they call you back, they go, "You broke your promise. You're a promise breaker." Is that how your mom raised you? Be a promise breaker? And so it puts a lot of psychological pressure on you. Well, we don't care about that. What we care about is getting answers to our questions. Who's calling? What's this debt? When did I incur this debt? When did you guys get this debt? How much is it? How did you calculate that? What makes up this debt that you're saying that I owe? What will you do if I don't pay? Are you going to credit report? Are you going to sue me? You see, so we're asking questions, and it totally flips the script on when they call you, and instead of being nervous and like, "Oh my goodness, this is bad," again, you don't literally say this, but in your mind, it's like you go, the person says, "Well, this is James from Portfolio Recovery calling you." You go in your mind, "James, I'm so glad you called. We got a million things to talk about. Let's get started." Okay? That's the mindset that you have. And then you start asking them those questions. They hate it, by the way. They can't stand it. Because, again, you asking questions about, "Well, when did you guys get the loan? Well, how did it get to be, $817 when my credit limit was $500? You asking them questions like that does not get them a payment or a promise to pay. Okay? So they look at that as you're wasting their time, and they're losing the momentum because they want that call to come in. Maybe it comes up as a local number. You're like, "I wonder who that is." You answer the phone and thinking it's somebody else, but really it's James from Portfolio Recovery or Midland Credit or whoever. And they want you kind of back on your heels. But when you start firing questions at them, and do it in a nice way, "Hey, we're the good guys. They're the bad guys. We're the good guys." Ask them these questions, legitimate questions, and frankly, it drives them nuts, okay? And sometimes they'll be unusually honest with you when you do it. "Are you going to credit report?" And, they may be upset and they say, "Yes, we're going to credit report," even though they've already told you the debt's like 10 years old. They can't credit report on that. Or, "Are you going to sue me?" "If you keep playing games with you, yes, we will sue you next week." Okay? Well, you're writing all this down. You're taking really good notes because you're pretending to be kind of like a reporter who you finally got this person on the phone that you've been dying to talk to interview. You write all that down, and then you compare that with the law. Did they violate the law? Did they break the law? And also, you get this information so you can make a good judgment. Do you really owe this debt? Do you really owe this debt in the amount they say you owe? Do you owe to the company that's calling you? What do you need to do? Do you need to send a dispute letter? Do you need to send a cease and desist letter? Do you need to sue this company? You now have information on what to do. So try that when you're dealing with the debt collector. Maybe you know one's been calling you and you haven't been answering. Just get yourself mentally prepared and either call them back, or when they call you, again, just have this idea of like, I'm so glad that you're on the phone. Let's get started with my questions. And I hope that that's helpful to you. We've had clients for many, many years tell us that's been incredibly helpful. So I hope that you find that helpful as well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, bye-bye.